Responsibility. It is amazing seeing two listeners in a parking lot after Mass. People bow to each other, exchanging a peace. Then a few minutes later, throwing the words or beep to others just to get out. We all have a bad day. Sometimes we are tired, cold, and hungry. Yeah, we have a very good reason sometimes. It takes some strength and integrity to hold your divinity, especially those difficult times. Refrain ourselves from throwing tantrum, emotion, or words. I have a power to become free from judgment. I'm loving and wise. Let's not feed those victimizer programming here. Own your energy field. It is your responsibility. It is my responsibility. We all need to learn to be responsible, relevant, respect. Once we truly accept the idea of all oneness, God's spark within all, we are simultaneously acknowledge and follow relevant, respect. The respect all. All beings are created equal in a divine being. Every person, every sentient kind, and everything is a vessel of God's creation. If we have a reverence for God, we will have a respect for one another. Let us feel the vibration and energy as we say that to ourselves. Trust. Remind yourself that you need no superhero, not even a savior. You don't need to please no one. You don't require any permission to be you. There's also no need to be competitive. No one is above you or below you, in front of you or behind you. Your direct connection to Source comes first. Your relationship with Source comes first. By trusting this principle, you will progressively embody your higher consciousness. I trust my inner knowingness, trusting in divine right action, divine right order, divine right placement, divine right timing. It could be a simple concept, yet we must practice each time we feel separation from our own inner guidance, our superpower within us, our connection with the Source. You may pose this question to yourself. Am I trusting my higher self now? Trust. What does it look like to trust divine right action, divine right order, divine right placement, and a divine right timing? Can you share an example? Have you experienced divine right timing before? What do you think about the right action? How about divine right placement? More you have a personal experience, more you can align yourself with that state. And share those things with your loved one, the people who you care for. So we could both raise frequency. Accountability. We cannot escape from accountability. The human mind is an energy force that continually generates patterns of scalar wave through the process of thought. So we are thought generating machine. Undirected thought creates chaotic patterns, which go back into manifestation template. While thought directed through clear intention create ordered patterns within, again, the manifestation template. When chaotic force present and persist, it causes reversal in DNA templates. We learned this in a previous section. Once our physical body passes, meaning that when we die, our template, going back to the where we came from, or where it came from, which is a tribal seal called the human collective. It registers back there and impact the entire field, which is energy disk. So it's very, it is interesting, but it's also important point to ponder, because a lot of time we think, well, it's just me, and when I exit this place, it all ash and go nothingness. Well, I hope so. However, your energy, accumulated energy, your memory, your experience of recording back and report back to the place we came out from. So it recorded back out there as a data point, or probably a little bit more than the point, because you really matter. Your existence matter, so does everybody else's. So think of this importance of what you are thinking right this moment, and the previous and forward. Accountability is a must. This is not an option, because you are a creator. You are a co-creator. Every single moment you are creating something. If you care for your race, the planet, and everything around you, you must be accountable. Accountable of your mind, accountable of your thought, accountable of your energy, how you direct your thought, how you direct your energy, how you project your energy. Again, I like to mention victimizer virus out there. VVV is the most prevalent virus known to this universe. The program is a game of polarity. You play out in front of you in your mind and project out through your DNA or your perception. It is an experimental virus software that is encoded in our DNA. The ultimate remedy is love. Remember that extreme polarity leads to the fear, judgment, or hate. So you know that love transmute out of fear, and hate, the grace, the help transmute hate. So every time we feel the hate and fear, you will need to be accountable over your energy, no matter where it came from. Perhaps it's not yours, but if once comes into your thought field, it is your choice. You have a power to choose how to deal with that. Be accountable. I am in a state of truth with all oneness. I now set free with love all the action and all the actors in my hologram. By doing this, You set free not just yourself, but anybody involved in this game. Okay, I'm out. Now I'm giving you permission that you could get out of this game too. Impeccability. The attitude of impeccability is one of the upholding and protecting the all oneness. What does it mean? Impeccability means you will, to the best of your knowledge, do your best to uphold the principle of the utopic vision within yourself of what the Christos, which is God source within, stands for. Respect, love, all of those things, and you conduct yourself accordingly. Impeccability. Let's practice impeccability, the attitude of impeccability. How does this translate into your reality? To which situation does this become very difficult to hold for you? The opposite's also true. Which areas of life you master to be impeccable almost every time? You know that I like to use a peacock feather as some of the example. Look at this beauty. This is one of the impeccable creation. Now that each color is gorgeous and beautiful. It is also because be able to contain within the boundary to honor the beauty within. There's nothing to breathe in and out between those colors. This is why it's so beautiful, even if it's combined many patterns together. It doesn't come across as chaos. Look at the many different colors seen here. And it's beautiful, it's order and properly presented in a way that's supposed to be. So this is one of the example of impeccability. I'm not talking about the feature and the cosmetic things here. It is an analogy, it is an expression. So we all have the area that we mastered already, and kind of extend that concept out to the other area that we haven't quite mastered yet. It is good to take a look at the other life and other people, kind of something to model after. Well, I'm not so good in this area, especially in this situation, and I know the people who deal with this situation far better. So if you have an example that is easier for you because you have some template to follow. Awareness. Let's learn to catch ourselves and see what our mind is doing. We often let mind wander, filling up our mind desk, right? Let's say we have a desk of mind. And right now, in very this moment, what different things in your mind, rather than listening to this class, we're talking about awareness. Let's mind our mind. Are you thinking something else? Is something else running? Something else you're noticing outside the window, or you're hearing somebody next to you doing something else? There's a lot of distraction here. And it's really important to catch yourself during those times when seemingly nothing else is happening. But those are daydreaming time, and things very automatic, such as driving a car, walking a dog, washing dishes, those time. Catch yourself. What are you thinking? What's on your mind desk? This is how we could stop our old pattern, right? So slow your breathing and be aware of your mind desk. What's on my mind desk right now, right? fearlessness. The experience with fear emerges when we see the benign reality of what is through the distortion lenses, which is a polarized duality. What does it mean? Let's think through this a little bit. The experience with fear, I feel fearful, comes out when we see the benign reality of what is through the distortion lenses. So it's basically saying that we create this fear through the distorted lenses we wear. So let's say if you take off this lens, it's basically quite normal or benign. It's not non-threatening. We may have to pause and think through this because each and every person has a different experience toward the fear. So you need to take a look at each of them and how this can apply and it does not. And kind of rethink of what this distortion lens is. Yes? Life at any juncture is nothing less than celebration. Let us continue onward, upward, Godward, fearless eternally. Have faith, dear one, at every step in your eternal God source within. So you are eternal being with unlimited power. Temporarily experience this limited world in a limited body. Let's say you truly imagine yourself with eternal power. How many of the fear perhaps disappear? Do I have a distortion lenses? Am I looking at the reality in a different way? I am not looking at this reality as is. Why some people are more fearful than others? Why we're experiencing the same event? This is something to ponder. If the fearlessness or fearfulness is born out of our illusion of not being with the source or not being with God, how do you honor and recognize the power of the God source within? How do you recognize? You have a direct connection. You have an inner divinity within. And how do you honor it? How do you deny the power? At which point in any situation have you ever denied your greatness? Does somebody make you believe you are not even close to God? Or you're not even equal to others? We need to go back in each and every situation, make us feel that we don't have our inner source, inner power in us. We need to address it. It's also the same work needed here. How would you recognize your power, your inner connection to far deeper and greater thing that you belong? Come up to your own statement here. Something empowering, something connect you to your direct connection with source. Starting with I am, it's pretty powerful. Okay. Only in fearlessness can you embrace and rediscover your true heritage of God-given self-sovereign freedom. I love this image. It is not confrontational. It is not threatening. It is holding up the light. I see you, my dear. You are not scary being to me. I see your soul, your kindness and love. And I know you see me, my strength, my integrity, my love. Okay? Here, this is a light. I see you. Very powerful stance. She's definitely not afraid, isn't she? Engaged detachment. Talk about attachment and detachment idea here. Attachment and detachment is actually the same thing, have the same energy pattern of persisting. So the expression is opposite, but outcome is the same. Attachment is pulling, detachment is resisting. They both hold the duality to persist. Do you understand? It is easy to think attachment, of course, it's going to be attached, continue to be attaching because you're actively doing it. The detachment is actively resisting it. Anything you resist persist. Actually, detachment is a little more scary because the person thinking, okay, I am detaching myself, now realizing, yeah, actually attaching even more. So in order to stop this nonsense, right? It is a very awkward situation here. It is a very confining energy. In order to bring this in a neutralized position, you will need to find a still point. The still point in this case is called engaged detachment, meaning that it will bring back to the still point. Still point often understood here as a neutral point. Okay, it is another word is a manu, still point of creative force where everything comes out from, and then also the point of omnipolar or non-polar energy. It's energies that go all the points, the same time, no point. This is why it's called still point. There's no resisting or detaching. It is all in and then all out. It is an energetic standpoint of engaged detachment. So it is not an easy concept. I'm gonna give you some story. This is my favorite story, the story of Aso. It is from the Japan, and the word Aso is mean just okay. I see it. I see you. You know. So that is just a word Aso. It is a situation. It's a tiny village a long time ago. There's a little girl, like a teen, and who come back and crying into the parents. And the parents say, "What's the matter, my girl?" And the little girl say, "I got pregnant." And of course, the dad was so angry. "Who did this to you? I'm gonna go and find and kill him," right? And she said, "Well, oh, I can't say." "No, you must say, otherwise you're disowned." So she said, "Well, the guy, the monk up in the mountain." "What? The monk?" Of course, he's very angry and upset and tell the wife, and the wife got even more frustrated. And both of them go around the villager and collect all of them to say what have happened to his precious daughter. The villager got so surprised and upset and brought all the torches, climb up in the mountain in a late of night and demand the answer. And bam, 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 open the door, monk, right? And the monk comes out and open the door. And all the villagers, especially the father, tell the story. "How dare you could do those things? I demand an answer. You're gonna have to pay responsibility." Blah, blah, blah. Well, the monk listened to all the story. And the villager, be silent, because all of them want to know what he's going to say. He said one word. He said, "so." Silence continued because they are waiting for something more than "so." Well, that was it. Monk didn't even close the door, turned around, and went back. Well, at this point, the villager has an option. They could proceed to burn or do something harmful to Monk, or just simply go home. Well, they went back with a lot of question and a mixed feeling. Then the years passed. A young man who left the village a while back come back and to meet his father and confessed, "Father, forgive me. I'm the one who's the father of your daughter. I'm responsible for that baby." Well, he was so in shock. Well, now it makes more sense. How we didn't see this connection. Well, he got upset. He was all this and that. But this young man came back and seek apology. And I'm here to take responsibility. I'd like to become the father. Well, the girl still likes him. This makes more sense. And possible. Yes, it's ugly, upsetting, but there's a resolution and remedy. And the second, what did we do to that monk? Well, they stop making an offering to the monk because all the things, the thing he did, well, actually, he really didn't do anything. Suddenly he feel so bad about what have happened. How can you believe the story your daughter told, and how all the villager bought into this story? The young girl get raped by a monk and not connecting, not even questioning. Are you sure it's not another boy or another person? How do you do? How do you react if you're a little girl, you're about to get kicked out and you're pregnant, and a boy who just left the village because he's also scared? She's scared, but she couldn't run away. Perhaps this is a kind of innocent lie, just for a while, so she could protect the boy she loves, but also she didn't want to hurt anyone else. She picked a monk. So the villager went back again and knocked the door, at this time with a full apology. Well, at this point, the monk could say a lot of things to this villager. Well, but he said one word, as you guess, "so." And again, he left the door open, turned around, and went back to his routine of business. So I take this story as attachment and detachment. What he displayed here is disengaged. Disengaged, excuse me, this is spell miss here. Engaged attachment, right? Since I'm still this recording process, I have a luxury to fix this. Engaged detachment. Well, you will learn this better as teacher make a mistake. So attachment in this case is fully engaged in this discussion. Say, you are all crazy. How dare you listen to this girl? I wasn't even there. I was here attending my business. You believe this little girl, or you believe me. You could be confront, and fully engage, go into this drama together. The other things you could detach. You cannot completely I was seeing the villager come up. We just completely shut the door, even don't open, right? Not even respond, not even listening to their story. Because they're all crazy. I don't need this right this moment in my life. And I end the relation to this villager. Now what he did is engaged attachment. He opened the door and listened to the whole story, right? He didn't stop them. He felt their emotion. He actually even knew what happened. And he understood how he react or respond to this situation will have a consequences, correct? Will be some consequences to this girl and perhaps to the boy. And he responded peacefully, I see. Which is the truth, isn't it? He sees it. And he also sees the perspective of the father and mother and a villager standpoint. He sees all. And also is the best response at this point. So this is an engaged detachment. You are fully engaged, but detached to the outcome. There's a potential outcome that causes him harm, right? There's also potential outcome that make himself clean and heroic, depending on how he answered. And there's also outcome. There's something will happen to this girl or the boy, for example. But he is in peace with any of those situations. This is an example of engaged detachment. I hope this is a good example enough so you could comprehend what does it mean by engaged detachment. It is not detaching. It is not you're emotionally involved. You are fully engaged in every level, mentally, intellectually, emotionally. You are fully engaged, but it's not attached to the outcome. It's a very important concept. Now, I'd like to also mention the detachment. Detachment is often the option that spiritually developing people take because, I don't want to involve in that. I don't want to get myself, bring that kind of negative energy into me, into my life. So I just pretend it doesn't exist. I didn't hear. I'm not going to say anything. So this is quite dangerous because it could feed shadow self. People who go into detachment shut down their emotional bodies. They completely ignore the energy, pretend it is not there, put a lot of energy into blocking it to pretend they got it all mastered. It's feed a shadow. It is okay as long as we don't trigger the emotional body, such as when you are process of awakening. Awakening equate the opening up your field. What is it mean by opening up your field? Opening up the chakra, opening up your Kundalini highway, opening up your energy field. The emotional body is right behind you. Emotional body need to expand. When we close and ignore the emotional body start to twist and bring more miasm within, meaning that it become shadowy part, become even more shadow, and start to behave differently than before. It could be innocent shadow, innocent baby. Since the baby being ignored, they start to have a thoughts, negative thought, accrete more the miasm, reversal energy, started doubting itself because no one talked to me. You see those troubled child, yes? It's not because they are bad, because nobody's paying attention to them. Also, it's you need to know detachment is resistance. It's a form of resistance. It requires more of your energy to hold that polarized position. So the people who involve and engage in drama, right? It's like you hear sometimes a lot of argument and things like that. Oh my God, how does it have that much power, energy? But actually, detaching from it, it costs more. So sometimes just being there itself is exhaust you. And seems to be the people who are in an argument, feeding themselves energy, and sometimes become accelerate. So know that this energy dynamic. And yes, I don't want you to expose yourself in victimizer programming, but also be mindful and know that how you directing your energy, you're shutting down your emotional body, because there's something you learn from. There's something you need to heal from. This is why you're engaging, or this is because what you are experiencing, right? This drama, for example. So we kind of need to eye open, ear open, and mouth open, right? I choose to be responsible. I choose to be responsible now. I am a powerful being. I am a powerful being. There's sometime you need to say something. Doesn't need to be an argumentative form. Doesn't need to be a lot. It could be this a monk. It could be a few words. I saw. I see. But when you say it, it means it. When he say I saw, it's not like, oh, okay, I see. No. He probably said I saw as with a full intention, the energy behind it. He's able to hold his own energy and has an eye to see through. And he listened to all the complaint and the energy, right? Probably fear, perhaps, and he spoke truth. So here's a little bit of attachment, detachment things. You talk about shadow and emotional body. We're gonna talk additionally talk about the purging emotional body. I mean, purging the miasm from emotional body. Full engagement requires mastering emotional body. Purge emotion with grace and ease, especially when a situation triggers your emotional body. Let it move through your body and let it leave through your skin. Ground-centered love. You're purging the emotional body. When you're purging the part of the emotion that no longer harmonious to you, emotion need to move. That's why it's called emotion. Yeah. No whining, no emotional overindulgence, no victim stance. Those are very important. Don't pass judgment when you're releasing it. Don't put another emotion on top of it, right? Don't overindulge yourself with the moment. When you start crying, oh my God, this feels good. And you try to resist something else attached to it and you cry even more. Oh, that's feeling good. Let's just do more. No, that's not what it means. Okay, just really with the emotions that need to go. That's it. And don't even try to be or feel a victim. This is how we feed the victimizer programming. So know that it's no victim here. I'm just simply releasing my emotion. Got it? Let's practice engaged detachment. It is very important. It's not very easy. First, ground yourself and clear up the mind. Revisit the station that is either attached or detach yourself from. We all have those things. So you tend to attach ourselves to, get right, dive into those, drama, or completely detach yourself. Oh, I'm kind of above them. I don't need those things. Right? Wait until you start feeling it. Completely immerse yourself in a situation. It's the best to bring your emotional body with it. You say, I am peace. I am love. I am engaged detachment now. Repeat twice more. And it's best to let your emotional body act upon it. It is happening now, really this moment. And practice releasing it. Just let it go. Just hold your body and let emotion move through your body and through your skin without passing any label while you're doing it. And bring your body back to the still point, the neutral, sacred point. And set the intention that I will be at still point during a chaos. I am a still point now, and I am peace. Now, once you have this engaged detachment, the manifestation comes at ease. The key to manifestation is stating from the still point, I am peace, and stating from absolute engaged detachment, there's no attachment to the outcomes. I am love. I am peace. I am love. I'm absolute engaged detachment. From this Manu standpoint, the stillness point, the whole creation happened. Accordingly, divine right order using a divine substance of absolute love come through you in divine right timing, in divine right placement, in the divine right way. You could even go with some artistic expression here. You could draw. What does it mean? Absolute engaged detachment. If you have artist quality in you, yeah, draw it. In this case, you just need to see it to be at the state of absolute engaged detachment. That is a powerful thing you can do. And it's a great reminder, an empowerment tool. I hope you're actually going to do it. Absolute engaged detachment. An image right here. The joy. My favorite. As you expand your consciousness with love, you progressively experience more joy. This is because you're becoming closer to source. Joy is choosing to be the embodied source, absolute love. So something to ponder. In your daily life, are you making a choice for joy? Do the words you use and the thoughts you think lead you toward joy or toward sorrow? What does joy feel like? Can you feel the difference between joy and momentary, temporary happiness? I am perfect just the way I am. I am perfectly me. I am joy. I am joy. Joy and pain. You can fully acknowledge both joy and pain and allow both polarity to run through you. When they can run through you and you do not assign a value or push either one of them away, they transmute. The particle and antiparticle come together, transmute down into antimatter, and go to the next level. You progressively transmute the polarities so you expand back into source. This is a path of joy. Here is the 6 steps to personal joy. Surrender to the moment. Be here now. I'm here now. I am right here, right now. And feel and shift out from the intellectual knowingness, but more become feel knowingness. Stop analyzing. Feel now and bring yourself into the inner knowingness. Choose your response. Act before react. I am joy. You may find a new way to experience joy. Experience stillness. Feel okay to be silent. It is a still point that we all need, especially when transmuting the polarity. And honor your whole being. Accept every part, every aspect of your life. And pay attention to your body signal. Your emotion and pain. The body is very good at telling you what's wrong and where needing attention from you. So consciously ask, listen, and find the balance. Seek the higher point to reach the better harmony within and outside. How can I fulfill my own needs? And to be okay with others and within is always better solution, the better choice. Now this is going to be extended to others as well. Own your own stuff. Yeah. You gotta kind of own your own things. You can't give the garbage to other people and expect them to throw that away for you. Also to respect the boundary of yourself and others. You need to be mutual, right? There's no such a thing as one get more. There's other people, as a person, receiving your love equally. Now, this is a very good one. Be effective. So you are choosing effectiveness, not really right or wrong. Oh, that's wrong stuff. It's not for me. Rather than, no, I want to be more effective. So leave the value judgment and try to aim for effectiveness. It will open up more door for you. Responsibility, humility. This goes a long way. You could really expand and deepen your relationship. Be responsible. When you say you're going to show up, right? Humility. It's always respect, allowance. You treat each other equally. Many of us practice this with ease. So I don't need to enforce this, I don't think. But I just put it out there. So it was 12 attitude. Now we're going to go to that 12 responsibility.